So thank you, everybody. So this is we dedicate this long life prayer and long life mantra for His Holiness Mary Tenzin Rinpoche. So now the true source of healing. Many of you know, and many of you have been following this live webcast, and maybe some of you are first time attending, new here. So this is ongoing live webcast since we beginning of the year, and this is the 8th of the continuation of this live webcast, and so the whole title is The True Source of Healing. And so this particular session today, it's nourishing your inner being. So nourishing your inner being, it's part of the soul retrieval or the whole year. So of course, when we think about nourishing of your inner being, we can think about nourishing your body. We can think about nourishing your mind, and nourishing your intellect, nourishing your emotion, and but it's in a way it's a sense of much deeper and a nourishing in who you are. So nourishing of your inner being. So in a deep sense, much deeper sense of your being, and sometimes that imbalance of element, deficiency of elements, a deficiency of certain emotional qualities in that deep place in ourselves that affects our inner being, that affects our overall vitality, our strength, our health. And then, of course, when we talk about the soul, it's kind of declines our soul because of that deficiency or lack of disconnectedness to the elemental qualities. So here I'm going to talk today about that. And so before we go into talking about it and explaining about it, I wanted to start with the practice of this. So in this practice, what we will do is, as many of you have learned, and then those you are first time attending, and obviously you might be feeling a little bit not understanding everything what I'm talking about, but there's been previous 7 sessions of live webcasts, which is recorded, and some written material, some MP3s are already up on our webcast, so that I think will be good that you, if you are interested to continuously follow these live webcasts, then I would highly recommend to look back in the previous live webcast recorded version and go through them, learn and practice and have some experiences with that. So today what we're going to do is to do the inner refuge prayer. We'll do the 9 breathing of purification in a refuge prayer, and then I will guide into the 3 precious pills. So basically, during these 3 precious pills, we will all have a great opportunity to go deep into our body, resting in that stillness in our body, and resting in the silence in our speech, resting in the spaciousness in our mind. And whatever is happening to you in this particular moment in your life, attention, stress, challenges, issues with the health, relationship, life, whatever is happening, and this, it's just kind of, you have to say, no matter what challenges are happening, through 3 precious pills, I will enter deep into the stillness, silence, and spaciousness. So basically, retreat, how you say, retrieving away from these events and images and emotions and thought, and trying to bring more clear and direct attention to the body, and just feel that connection no matter what's happening in your life. Just, of course, sometimes each single person situation you might facing a difficult challenge, but you can say, well, no matter what is happening, this is my task, This is my, how you say, test, and to do it. So I would recommend to do that. And then once you succeeded, and those you succeeded go into deep, and then you will see it's not just a connecting with that body, speech, and mind, but somehow connecting deeper in that, connecting deep sense of that, connecting with your body, still body, speech, and mind, where you will feel much more a sense of being, a much more sense of the nature of mind, the pure awareness, what we refer here as the inner refuge. So the distinction between three precious pills and three inner refuges, it's like a huge differences, because three precious pills are like three doors, and the three inner refuge is like a uh, the the arrival, or the the center of the experience, so that then those you have succeed the three precious pill, you will feel that deep place of first refuge, where boundless space, a clear sky, some sense of deep openness, and some sense of deep settling. So that space is where what we have been referring as a true source of healing. If you arrive there, if you feel connection to that, that is the place to discover the qualities of the element. So if you are saying nourishing your inner being, the materials or the qualities from which you nourish your inner being, it's you discover in that unbounded sacred space. What quality you discover in that unbounded clear space is the five elemental essences. So, like a space quality, a feeling of just completely open, boundlessly open, like a space, discovering the space quality, and which the unbounded space, the first refuge, is like that. So once you feel that space, in that space for active element to discover, like earth, water, fire, air. So like a space, earth, for example, uh, a sense of connection and groundedness, a sense of connectedness and groundedness. Just imagine those of you who you are feeling disconnected, ungrounded, this moment in your life, whatever challenges, situation you're facing, those challenges, situation, it's decreasing your connection and declining your energy and vitality and losing your qualities of the soul. Therefore, in contrary to that, if you feel the inner refuge, feel that space, and that in that space, if you feel the connectedness, and not just feel the connectedness, being fully aware of that connectedness, being aware of that for 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, as long as you're aware and connectedness, that connectedness in that space, you are retrieving the essence of earth. That means you are retrieving, nourishing your inner being through the earth. Same way, water, a sense of comfort, a sense of well-being. Images will be like a lake, ocean, and if you feel the connection to that sense of well-being, easiness in that space, and just being aware of that specific quality of the water. And as long as you are aware specific quality of that water in that space, you're nourishing your inner being with water element. Same way with the fire, a sense of joy, a sense of enthusiasm, sense of that fire drive quality in that space. If you're aware of that in that space, you are retrieving the essence of fire and nourishing your inner being. And the air element, a sense of a flexibility, a flow, a freedom, some sense of not being stuck or blocked, or that being aware of that air element, quality, essence of air, and resting in that inner space while being aware of that air, then you are nourishing your inner being with that air element. So you can nourish your inner being with each of these essence of the element in that sacred space, in that inner refuge, by entering through the three precious pill. So that is a simple basic principle. I know, like those you have heard it many times or enough time, probably you will say, okay, that makes sense, that makes sense. And those you have heard too many times but did not make sense to you experientially, you might feel bored also. Okay, I've heard that, I've heard that, so if you're feeling bored, that means you haven't got it, you haven't connected, you haven't experienced it. And those you feel like, okay, it's making sense, your first, if your first time, you have opportunity to feel properly and really like make a sense out of it. So I hope, I pray for all of you, and that this does not becomes one of, hearing again and again, but becomes a very lively, very meaningful experience. And as I will guide the practice, we will have opportunity to come back and talk a little bit more about it. But let's begin with the practice right now. And so